This episode of the Game Over Greggy Show is brought to you by Squarespace. Whether you need a landing page, a beautiful gallery, a professional blog, or an online store, it's all included with your Squarespace website. Now, why would we say go to Squarespace? Because, buddy, yeah, that's right, I'm talking to you. Don't look away, look me in the eye, you coward. That's right. Squarespace is what we used to build the original kindoffunny.com. And as I often say, I'm pretty sure Nick Scarpino can't read. So if he could use Squarespace to build the original kindoffunny.com, what's your excuse? Start your free trial today at squarespace.com and enter the offer code KINDOFFUNNY to get 10% off your first purchase. Tim.
Yes.
What's your topic?
So we travel a lot here at Kind of Funny.
We sure do.
We have, when we were at IGN, we were traveling all the time.
Nick ran away.
But recently, we traveled more than we ever have.
Right.
And by recently, I mean last week.
Yeah.
At the time of this recording, it is the day after our studio reveal.
12-hour live stream.
12-hour live stream and all that. The week leading into that, me and you were in
and you.
4 different states in a week.
Right.
Nick joined us for
2 of them.
For 2 plus
3 of them, I guess, if you count.
Yeah, 3
San
of them.
Francisco.
You joined for 2. So, I want to talk about our journeys, Greg.
Okay.
'Cause me and you, we spent the entire week together.
We did.
Had
And
very
Gia.
few moments. And Gia. Gia was there too.
What up, Gia?
We had very few moments where we were not together.
Right.
Doing things together, having
Yeah.
fun together. It was a fun time. Stressful time.
Of course.
A lot of emotions.
It was.
Let's start from the beginning.
All right. San
Me and
Francisco
you
to Austin.
go to Austin.
Sunday.
That was good. Took a Virgin flight.
Anytime you can be on a Virgin plane,
Yeah.
it's great.
So
Getting
we
the
only
elevate points.
had 2 Virgin flights.
Yeah,
There
sucked.
to Austin and then back from
I was
Denver.
incredibly disappointed with Virgin on this trip. The fact that they fly to Denver and Chicago and Austin and San Francisco. So I should be able to go between all those cities, no problem.
Yep.
But Austin to Chicago, Chicago to Denver, Austin, there's no
how that
Virgin
goes.
thing. That's some bullshit.
So we had to go American.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that was really
Jesus
sad.
God.
But when we got to Austin, we did a lot of cool things. We were on the Rooster Teeth podcast. We went there for Rooster Teeth to collaborate with them. What's up?
Flying American was like stepping back about 20 years into the past.
Yeah.
It was a special
ramshackle little plane.
treat that I don't care to ever consume again.
Yeah.
That I just don't want that to happen ever again. No power outlets, no media
screen.
whatsoever, no screen.
I don't even think there was a
No Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi.
There was Wi-Fi actually.
It was one of those, like, you can open your iPad or your phone and connect to the Wi-Fi or the free thing. Then you
Go
get
flight,
you can get
in-flight.
your in-flight entertainment that way.
Yeah.
One of those bullshit things.
I don't know. It just never works for me. Sorry, continue.
I will say, though, the Virgin flight to Austin, we had a very special flight attendant who was very, very, very attentive, disturbingly so, where she would not allow anybody's bags to not be completely underneath the seat. And she would just come and she was like, touching him, was like, yo, you need to calm. You would have not handled this well, Nick, at all.
Probably not. I've been trying to stay a little bit more patient. I'm trying to practice patience with people. Slow down a little bit, breathe. I got through, I would say, 99% of the trip relatively happy, just enjoying myself.
It's good.
So I think I would have been okay. I was by the time we got to Denver, I was like, this is going to be awesome. Because the Let's Play Live, which you'll get to in a second, it was a super fun event, but it took a lot out of me because it was long. We had 2 meet and greets that day, which were, I'm not complaining at all. They were awesome, but those took a little energy out of me too. So by the time I got to Denver, I was like, I want this event to be, I had this idea of what I wanted it to be. And normally when I have ideas of of what a thing is going to be in my head, it's never like that, right? It's always more great. We walked into this event. It was exactly what I needed it to be.
Yeah.
Super chill, really nice people. All the best friends were there. Like, no line at the bar, which is clutch. And I got to play some cool VR games. So that was really fun. But yeah, sorry, continue.
So going back, me and Greg went to Austin. We went to Rooster Teeth to make some content. It's been a while since we've done that. Last time was March, I think, when we all went down together.
Are you allowed to say what you
March?
Let's plays and stuff.
Are you allowed to talk about what you filmed?
Yeah.
God, that was so long ago.
Yeah. So me and Greg were on the RT podcast. You can find that over on Rooster Teeth's YouTube channel.
I show my nips.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Greg was crazy.
Free the nips, Greg.
Yeah.
And literally cut the nips out of his shirt.
Did you cut the holes in them, or did that shirt come like that?
No, I cut them out because the thing was that we were promoting, of course, that I was the Rooster Teeth Chicago shirt, but
Okay.
it was a smaller medium, so I put it on like a sausage casing.
Yeah.
And then it was brought up the fact that at the Chicago Theater for Let's Play Live, if I was to take my shirt off, I would cost Rooster Teeth $50,000. because there was a clause in the contract that there can be no male nudity at Let's Play Live Chicago. And if somebody was to do that, it'd be $50,000 at Chicago Theater.
Now, do you think
so I try to get it all in my system there.
Do you think they bothered to clarify that, or do you think they were just like, we're good, we'll just tell everyone to keep their clothes on?
Seeing as how they have the GIMP suit, I'm pretty sure they had to clarify
Bethany, the event coordinator over at Rooster Teeth, she had hell to deal with because she had to go back and forth with them and be like, all right, during the show, there's going to be a guy getting in a GIMP suit. Is that okay? And they're like, yeah, as long as there's not nipples. She's like, are you sure? Are nipple clamps okay if they're over a shirt? And they're like, yeah. It's like, all right, what if the nipples are clamped, then the shirt comes off? Like, so you're not seeing nipple. They're like, no, you can't do that. She's like, okay, good to know. Good to know. She had to figure out where the line was.
That's fascinating. I mean, it's one of those things where it was that I get it, but where do you draw the line with what is performance, right? Like, for instance, we walked in. No, for instance,
what is performance?
No, we walked in and we saw, obviously, by the way, the Chicago Theater is awesome. I don't want to think that we're talking shit about them, but it is a little weird that they have a rule like that, especially since as we walked in, you see all these signatures, and like one of the first doors I walked into was the Prince door, and it's like, you better goddamn believe if Prince wants to take his shirt off, he's going to take his shirt off.
Well, he just doesn't care about $50,000.
You think he just doesn't care?
No.
Well, is it again? Was it one time? Could we all have walked out with our shirt off and it would have been $50K?
I think it was. I don't know if it's stacked.
Yeah. I don't know. That just seems a little weird for me because like there are rules that you hear about for performances. For instance, like I think you're allowed to smoke on stage at comedy clubs because it's part of the performance, right? I don't understand how you can tell someone you can't do that. I get it if you're walking out offensively with genitalia or things that society has deemed is quote unquote nudity, but we all know we've all decided as a group of people on this planet that a man with the shirt off is not nude. That is not nudity. You see that at the beach all the time. You see it on billboards. You see it everywhere. You see it on Pornhub. You see it on like X videos. Any of those sites, these reputable media sites, you can see a man with his shirt off. So I just don't understand why they'd have a problem with this.
Yeah, I mean, it's their rules. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
No, I know it's their theater. It's a privately run group.
But my favorite thing was Greg getting the email personally saying, "Greg, you can't take your shirt off." It's like there was the rule overall, but they weren't worried about anybody. They were worried about Greg Miller, and I appreciate that about you.
They understand that I have a shtick. That's what I'm known for.
I think it's
here and in the Rooster Teeth community.
I think they're body shaming.
No, it wasn't that because you're fat. I don't think it was. You know what I mean? Because they got some good-looking funhouse guys. They didn't take their shirts off either.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't blame anyone for this. I'm just teasing. Obviously, you can do what you want to do. You run a historic theater in Chicago. You can set the rules as you see fit.
So Greg did, made sure his nips were shown on the RT podcast, and that was a lot of fun.
Right.
Me, Greg, Gus, and Bernie and Gavin.
Then I gave away the control email address.
You did.
Still got a lot of tweets about that.
It was a great episode. You should definitely watch it. Greg was fucking completely off the rails. Yeah. I like you on other people's content because then you're like, you need
There's
to
no
make,
responsibility.
There's
I
no
can do whatever I want.
And you need to make your presence known.
How is that any different than everything we do here?
There is a difference. And you've seen it.
That's true.
He goes like the extra
I don't have to
mile.
win these people over. They're already won over.
They're won.
My pheromones.
Oh, I'm smelling them right now. They smell a little bit like Taco Bell.
Yeah, we do need to work on the air circulation in this.
Well, we're gonna get some fans and stuff for later. Kevin brought up a good point.
That's a billion degrees in here.
Well, I think what I'm gonna do is get a little. I want to get an AC unit and just put it right there.
Yeah.
And just feed it into the window potentially.
Nice.
They totally work, Kevin.
Kevin
wants us to get fans. He's like, get giant fans. I'm like, cool, because we have so much space here.
Use your microphone or don't talk, Kevin. That's your job.
You want to get a real AC unit? You want to put in an air conditioning unit into this building? Okay.
I noticed that the thermostat says that we do have AC, but I don't know if it's just a standard kind of thing.
I don't see a unit outside though. I think I see a heater in there, but I don't think there's an AC. There would have to
maybe
be
the heater doubles as an air conditioner.
It's just
possible.
It is rare to have AC in this city anyway.
That's true.
We did the Bernie shows.
Oh yeah. We did Game Time with Bernie, which is like quite a big honor when you put everything in context. I think he's only done like 14 episodes of that, and it's usually with like big name motherfuckers.
Michael Jordan.
He did not ever get Michael
B. Jordan.
Nope, not Michael B. Jordan either.
Kanye West.
But he has done it with like all the founders of Rooster Teeth and with with Meg Turney and stuff like that. So it's really cool that when she left. So it's cool that like he did one with you and one with me. They're like 60-minute at least Let's Plays where they're more like podcasts where he's kind of interviewing us about who we are and how we got where we are and all that stuff. So that was really fun. Those go out next month and the month after. Sure. So that's exciting. We did a bunch of Let's Plays with Screw Attack.
We sure did.
Those are coming out probably October.
How'd those go?
Eventually.
They're fun.
That Stuttering Chris sucks. For being honest.
It's Stammering Dan.
Terrible. I'm sorry. Stammering Dan is
you
not
gotta call him by his
favorite.
real name, bro.
Sorry, my apologies.
It's disrespectful if you don't get it.
We were involved in a power outage because it rained the entire time.
We were there. We spent some time with Andy Cortez. That was fun.
Yeah, that's one word for it. That's one word for it.
The power outage was interesting. We did some no videos
Yeah.
with Ashley Jenkins.
They were all hit. Mine went over
Yeah,
really
yours
well
went
on
over really-
every subreddit.
It's not like, you went on there talking mad shit about PC gamers.
Who would do
and
that?
All this stuff. Yeah, no. That wouldn't make it.
I'm sure whoever I talked shit about wasn't super sensitive about it. It's no big deal.
I don't know if you heard about this, but on the RT podcast, at some point we're talking about the PlayStation versus Xbox in terms of form factor. We brought a PlayStation out, and Bernie, who had been out drinking with us before the show, which was the best decision we ever made, takes the PS4 and just fucking lobs it. And it was just like, good Lord, this is
Quite
quite
into
the
a table for
adventure.
no reason yet. Because we
It's fun. That's fun.
It was
Yeah.
the Xbox One S came out, and I wasn't having that shit. And I was talking
Yeah.
about that PlayStation 4, of course.
Yeah.
And then Bernie's like, let me see it. And then just fucking threw it like a frisbee.
Yeah, it was great.
That's how you know
So
he has too
definitely-
much money.
Yeah, way too much money. If I did that, I'd be like, oh, damn it, that's going to cost me so
My
much.
saves.
Now I can't eat for a week.
Then we did the most important thing, which was the reason we went down there, and that's shoot $1 Million Butt.
Yeah.
An episode that was me, you, and Jeff. Now, if you don't know what $1 Million Butt is, you should go to Rooster Teeth's YouTube channel and check it out. It's, in my opinion, one of the best shows.
It's my favorite
they've
one.
Done. One of the best internet video shows ever.
When we joined up with Let's Play, and they were like, what Rooster Teeth shows do you want to be on? I was like, I need to be on $1 Million Butt.
So the idea is 3 people get around a table and they each give one scenario on you get $1 million, but you have to do this thing.
Right.
And then you kind of talk it out and if you would or would not. And the brilliance of the show is it's kind of like what we do with the Kind of Funny Doodles, where it's like the best of moments and it's animated, but instead of animating it, they actually shoot people doing
Live action
dramatizations
Reenactments of it, yeah.
reenactments, and it's super super funny, and they go all out, and the production value is like through the roof. They get real actors and stuff.
I'm excited to see both of yours.
Yeah,
'Cause
so
I know, but
we
don't
can talk
spoil
about
it.
it. No, we can talk
Can
about
we?
it.
Okay.
Yeah, people will be excited about when they see it. It'll make a lot more sense.
Sure.
But mine involved. I acted with this old lady who was in zombie makeup, and I had to like lure her into a cage while people in security outfits were poking her with a cattle prodder. And it's like, this is my life now. This is
Yeah.
something that I'm doing. Greg had to get pantsed by an 8-year-old girl.
I got pantsed a lot.
repeatedly.
Not even by just the little girl.
There was a
Pantsed a
construction
lot.
worker.
I might have worn a dildo.
The dildo
Really?
fell out. Yeah.
How
it
big?
was-
How
it was
big and what
ridiculous.
color?
Big.
What ethnicity was
Oh,
the
white.
dildo?
We're trying to make it look like me.
Was it white?
Ghostly white. They came in
No,
spray painted
I'm
chalk
just
white.
saying, if you got a choice, you got a choice. If someone says, "Hey, what kind of dildo do you want?"
You want that big black
why
baseball
you gotta
hat?
be out? Yeah, kind of. I want one the size of this fucking microphone. If we're in fantasy world, why not? If we're fantasizing
You're not
about these
fantasizing.
things,
It's not a fantasy. It's
it's a
you're
make
trying
believe
to.
world. He doesn't actually have a grandma.
I don't. It's true. It's not my grandma. Oh, yeah, I guess it was supposed to be my grandma. Yeah.
It's a fun concept though, and we should. There's a card game now. We should definitely play that.
We'll
at
do a
some
Let's
point.
Play of that
Yeah, for
eventually.
sure. I think that'd be really fun.
It's going to be great. But yeah, Blaine Gibson, shout out to him. He directed it. And always, his shoots are so fucking awesome. He's the same guy that did the Let's Play.
Intro video for Let's Play, yeah. Or the
live action
announcement
trailer
video.
thing that we did where we reenacted the Anchorman thing.
Nice.
But that shoot was a lot of fun. We got to do a lot of dumb shit.
Well, sure, because it's just different for us to go on a set that is like real functioning fictional work, where it isn't just we're horsing around doing a podcast or whatever. It was we a little bit of acting and doing this and hitting marks and seeing how they set stuff up or knock things down. If you caught it on Instagram, that's the one where I'm in the bed surrounded by money.
Yeah,
What's my
and-
other hand doing? Jacking off.
Yep. So I had to be in a room. And this is the most impressive thing to me. Their shoots involve so many people now. Like us doing this, going around, there was different locations, and there was a crew of like 30 that would just follow us around. They have the giant production truck that everyone would just get in, drive from place to place, and like they'd set up, and there was multiple audio guys, multiple camera operators, multiple people. Like they had a wardrobe person that's just there taking
I'm telling you,
pictures,
man.
making sure we're good. I'm like, man, this is like so real. And then we all get in a room and make sure that Greg is covered in money. And they had multiple people that were solely there to make sure they're making
Make it
it rain correctly. And Greg's just there slow jerking it. Well, actually,
I wasn't slow
He was
jerking,
jerking
Colin.
it, but it was shot.
When
in
you see the
slow-mo.
footage, I want you to know that I was not slow jerking. I understand the difference between slow jerking and real jerking. I was real
Yeah.
jerking.
He was jerking, but then it was in slow mo eventually.
Colin, for the new people who are watching this for the first time, can we get a little example or taste of the slow jerk, please?
Sure. There it is.
That's it right there.
And I think this is even three
That's
times
a little
A
faster.
little too
faster
fast.
than
A little
it
too
used to be,
fast.
yeah.
Because it's always you want it a
to be
little
able-
flaccid.
Yeah, like your dick's almost not even ever hard while you're doing it. Anyway,
Just tease it.
That's dirty.
We did a photo shoot.
That was,
while
we
were
did
there
a photo shoot, which
for all our
fun.
clothes.
Yeah.
It was very fun because we were with people we didn't know well. We know so many Rooster Teeth people well. This was a photographer they had hired, and then of course one of their store people. And so in the beginning, you'd go change shirts in other rooms or whatever. You had an undershirt on or whatever. When I was the first person there, I was just stripping out of my clothes, just putting on different shirts or whatever. You weren't this. You later. They did something before with the people that weren't you. I confused them.
Got it.
They'd go
Got
change
it.
in other rooms. I would just change in front of them, and they weren't ready for that. They weren't prepared for how free I am with my body.
Well, that's the thing. Is you were trying to get your nips out as much as possible before Let's Play
I was trying
Live.
to air them out, get out of my system, of course.
I get it. I get it. So that was that. Then we left Austin. Before we left Austin, we went to a super awesome speakeasy bar, which was the coolest thing in the world.
Midnight Cowboy.
Midnight Cowboy.
It was so the thing is, it's downtown. It's on 6th Street. 6th Street, if you've ever been to Austin, is fucking college town USA party bar. They could shut down the street. It's loud. It's obnoxious. There's a place called Bikinis where they're just everyone's in bikini. All the waitresses are in bikinis.
I wanted to go.
It's not the place where I'm like, I'm gonna go get a fancy drink, but hit up our friend, of course, Eric Castro. No, I told Eric Castro about this one. Hit up Gus, and I was like, we want a quiet place to drink. Where do we go? And he said, you need to go to Midnight Cowboy. You make a reservation on this janky ass website that's talking about it being a massage parlor, because it was the Midnight Cowboy massage parlor beforehand. When it got closed down and somebody else bought it, they just kept the same name.
Can you still get a massage?
No,
there?
you cannot.
Wow. That'd be a great bar. A bar / massage parlor. You
gotta
can just hang
exist
out
somewhere.
there, you're drinking, and someone's like, would you like a rub down? And you're like, yes. I'd like a rub down.
Well, I drink this Manhattan.
While I drink this amazing old fashioned.
So you make a reservation, and you come up to another unmarked door, and there's just a thing of like buzzers for apartments and whatever, and you buzz one, somebody will come to the door and be like, do you have a reservation? And you say,
They don't
yeah.
even go to the door. They do the little like whoosh
Yeah,
thingy,
yeah.
where it's just the eyes.
You got a reservation? Yeah. And they shut it, and they come back, and they get you, and then they usher you back, and it's dim lights, it's super quiet and chill.
Love it.
The
fun.
drinks were all amazing, and some of them have asterisks, and if they have the asterisks, it means they wheel the cart over and make them right in front of you and explain everything they're doing and what they're doing.
It was honestly like Colin's dream place, because they're making all these fancy drinks and they talk to you like they're making the food from the organic places.
Yeah.
You know,
These Brussels sprouts have been slightly sautéed in Napa organic olive oil. The garlic comes from the Central Valley.
And the Eric Castro joke is that they get so quiet towards the middle and end that you're like leaning.
Yeah, they get quieter as they
you
go.
can't even understand.
The salt was sourced from the Pacific Ocean, and
And I'm like, just give me the.
so it was
have
that.
the
It was
food
that,
like
but
it's
for
chicken.
but for drinks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so it was
chicken.
fun. It was a fun little experience. I had the best drink I've had in my entire life.
You remember it?
So I got like 4 times. I don't remember what it was called, but it was essentially
was the
an old
spirit?
fashioned with maple syrup in it, and it was dope.
So it
as
was
fuck.
so it was
They
bourbon.
used something with smoky in it too, though. There was some smoky.
Bacon. Was there bacon?
I don't remember. What
Was it like High West's?
No,
bourbon?
it wasn't a flavored bourbon. It was a straight bourbon, but something else they were putting into it. It was
I don't
really
remember. It
delicious.
was really good though.
Because they make those
Really
old
damn good.
fashions with the maple syrup at Yardbird, that random place in Vegas that we go to.
Yeah.
Yardbird.
Yardbird.
Yeah, it was. They were better than that. They were different than that. They were delicious.
Yeah, I love a good craft cocktail.
It was tiki night. Gia kept getting crazy.
It was.
She got a little a killer whale drink. They came in a killer whale
Yeah, like a
thing.
Shamu thing.
Yeah.
was
We
dope.
got hammered.
Those little
Kevin's trying to
umbrellas.
catch me looking at myself.
That's great.
Every
I love
time,
it.
every
I
time he
love
sees me
it.
look down at one of the monitors, he cuts and I have to look away. Because Tim
job,
fucking
Kevin.
chastised me for doing that.
So then we went to Chicago.
Yeah.
My first time.
Right.
That was a lot of fun.
You've never been to Chicago before.
Never been to Chicago. So we're in the taxi. Longest trip from the airport to the hotel.
They
that
made sure they
I've
didn't
ever
put
had.
O'Hare close, and they made sure that there's traffic.
My God, that was bad. But then as we're going in, I'm like, oh my God, we're in Batman Begins.
Yeah.
We are in Gotham City right now.
Skagan.
This is crazy.
Skagan.
You got to go through Lower Wacker. You got to see everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
you've seen the L running above you.
It was cool.
Yeah, got to go to the
real cool.
Sky
That was
Theater.
fun. That was when Kevin and I joined this leg of the
No,
trip.
not yet, because what we did when we went there,
Oh,
of
right.
course,
I
is that we were
apologize.
super smart and said, what do I need to feed Tim now that he's here in Chicago, my hometown? And of course, it's Chicago pizza. And what's the one Chicago pizza I recommend all the time? Giordano's. And
Lou
of course, there's a Giordano's right around the corner from the hotel we were all staying at. Brilliant. So we went over there,
It's
sat
so
down,
funny too.
45 minutes.
That email and
just
text that you
chilled out.
sent me, where it's like, Nick, we're gonna be here. You should totally try this. I'm from Chicago. Definitely make sure you.
How
do
many
this.
times do I have
It
to
would be
talk
great.
about Giordano's? How many
You've
times?
talked about it maybe 3 times.
Fuck
in the
you.
10
You're
years
such a
we've known
piece
each
of
other.
shit. You're a
You talk about
scumbag.
Pachi's all the time, which by the way, I guess they have
'Cause
there
it's
too,
here.
right? Is there one there? Or
That's
there's
in
one
Denver.
in Denver.
Yeah. So we go out, And we go there and we're having a great time. It's you, me, and Gia. My mom comes and joins us. We sit down. You're having a Coke. We're having some water.
God forbid you wait for Nick and Kevin.
And
an hour later,
we were starving. You were way later.
It was 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
It was not.
We showed up at 5.
No, you did not. You landed at 5:45.
I landed and Tim was like, we ate. Are we already ate? It was 1 minute ago. We just finished. It was 1 hour. You guys could have waited another hour. Would have been there.
How long did it take you to get from the airport there?
45-minute deep dish.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
about an hour. You guys could have. It was like 6 o'clock when we got in. Perfect time for any human being to eat dinner. Whatever time you guys
got
got like
down there at
3.
7 o'clock. Yeah.
The only reason that I wanted to go to Chicago is so that I can have the pizza you like with you.
It's just funny that you guys are bumbling idiots who couldn't put this together. Because I would have gladly come out with you that night still. I would have sucked it up and come out. But instead
No,
what
you
happens
didn't.
is
No,
we get there.
we got
I know
there.
it's going to be 45 minutes. Being the smart puppy I am. I'm going to say puppy. The smart puppy I am. I say, we'll have the stuffed Chicago pizza. You need to have one of these. I mean, again, Pachi's I think is pretty close. Am I wrong?
No, you're completely correct.
And that's why I like Pachi so much. It's so much like Giordano's. We just do pepperoni sausage there. But then I order us a thin crust pizza with Italian beef on it.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Because that's the pizza I miss. So many, you can get Portillo's shipped here, let alone the one down in Anaheim. I get Portillo's pretty frequently for somebody who doesn't live in Chicago. Pizza wise, if I want a Chicago pizza, I can get Pachi's. It's great. Everything's fantastic. But the one thing nobody does out here on this coast is Italian beef on pizza. So I order this for you and you eat it, and what do you think?
That was the best thing. The best pizza I've ever had, I think. It was so good. Here's the thing. I wish we got the deep dish with the Italian beef. The Italian beef is the key element of this whole thing. Because Portillo's is like its own kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Where that's on its own element. I don't even want to compare that to anything else.
Sure.
Be it sandwiches or burgers or whatever. I don't know. Hot dogs. I don't care. Portillo's is just Portillo's. It is fantastic. But somehow this pizza kind of tasted like it. And that's all I want. Yesterday from Sub Center and SF, which I love Sub Center. They're great. But I got the Italian combo. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
This is garbage.
Yeah.
They're not even trying to make it taste right.
One question. It was the Chicago style pizza that you had, obviously, with the Italian beef on it?
The thin crust.
Oh, okay, thin crust. I was
Yeah.
going to say, there's no way that it could be. You could have one of those fork and knife pizzas and it'd be the best pizza you ever had in your life. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay.
Thank you.
But I feel like it would have been. Had we
It
done
wouldn't
that.
have. No, it wouldn't. That's why I didn't waste the Italian beef on that. I didn't want to burn you out on Italian beef.
I don't think I could have been.
That would have been helpful to know beforehand when I ordered. You should have
I didn't
stepped
know.
in.
I didn't realize. I didn't know that was the thing that I love so much. I didn't
Sure.
realize that it was the beef that I craved and needed.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Now I know.
When
Now
you
I
put
know.
it inside the stuffed pizza, I think it waters it down to an extent. It's when it's there, right there, is bread and cheese and everything's
I still want to
delicious.
try it though.
Okay.
I said we go back to Chicago.
I agree. We should go back to Chicago sometime.
Kevin
But
won't have it,
then
though.
the Moron twins come in.
So we come in not knowing what's going on, and I'll be honest with you, we ran into a group of Funhouse people who were also going out with a group of RT people. Bethany was there. A bunch of people were there, and they were like, "Hey, we're going to Pequot's." Am I saying that right? Does that sound right? Which is a great pizza
Well known,
place.
yeah, well
this
known.
place sounds great. I was like, cool. This is probably good because Greg and Tim didn't feel like being our friends that day. That's fine. That's cool. I'm stuck with Kevin. Not a big deal. Do I want to swallow this fucking mug and end it all? Not yet. Kevin and I were actually having a pretty good time. So we go, cool, we're going to go out. Now, I broke my cardinal rule, and this is where you were right, okay? When you don't have a reservation at a place, and it is Thursday night in a place like Chicago, okay, there is a threshold of people that you can go out with and expect to actually eat in any manner of like decent time period. 12 people well beyond that threshold, right? So of course we show up and someone's like, well, it's a little bit of a wait. And I'm like, well, how much is a little bit of a wait? And they said 90 minutes. And I'm like, that's not a wait, that's a movie. We could go see a movie right now. No. So they're like, well, where can we go? And of course the next answer, no matter what, is inevitably going to be bad. Again, Thursday night, 12 people, any place that you can just walk into and sit down, probably not going to be good. We got the opposite of an experience of what you guys got. We got horrible service. They forgot to put in our food. At some point, there was a paper jam. It took us an hour and a half anyway to get the food. That was terrible. It was a paper jam. The woman was like, I'm so sorry. I don't know where your food is. Let me go check. Came back like 40 minutes later and was like, oh, you know what? I checked. And the paper jammed back there. The guy didn't even know. There was a chef sitting back there, smoking reefer, fucking hanging out in Chicago, and they're talking about how cool it was when they shot that Dark Knight film, or whatever the fuck they do back there. No, he was a hardworking guy, but he totally fucked up our order. Once he got the order, it was out pretty quickly, but it wasn't good. The salad was terrible that I got. And again, we're in like a sports bar. The guy's like, I think the bartender was like, we serve food? oh, okay, I guess I'll dust off one of those menus and give it to you guys. But then we came home and we were tired.
Well, again, because you drove, like, how far away was it?
Oh, it was like, again, another 40 minutes or like 30 minutes away. No, it wasn't that bad. 15 minutes. 15
Literally
minutes.
around the corner, Giordano's just waiting for you.
Didn't
with
know that.
all
Didn't
the-
know that.
All you
Now,
do is maybe text me. You know, I'm from
If
Chicago.
it were Lou Magdalanos,
I fucking hate you.
then I would have gone to it. But Giordano's, whatever, it doesn't really matter, right? So then we're about to go to bed, and I'm like, I got a lot of energy because I had like 50 Diet Cokes this thing because we were waiting for our food for like an hour and a half. I'm like, I'm just gonna go for a little walk, go down to the river, and see what's up. And I ended up walking around the city for about 3 hours.
Yeah.
Like maybe all told about 2.5 hours. Walked all the way down the river, all the way down to like a little bay area. Came back, walked through Wacker. But is that something?
Lower Wacker?
Lower Wacker. Where like, I'm like, is this where they filmed The Dark Knight? That cool scene with the rocket launcher and the tumbler and all that stuff. It's a really cool city. Like at first when you're driving into Chicago, I was like, this looks exactly like Manhattan. It's gonna be the same experience. Night and day. Couldn't be a different vibe. Not that one's better or worse than the other one, but it's just a really weirdly laid out city. There's a river that runs through half of it. It's kind of like built on levels where like all of a sudden you'll look up, you're like, there's a train above me.
Yeah.
But before that, I was underground with the mole people for a little bit on Wacker Street. But I had a good time walking around there. And then I came back, got a terrible night's sleep as I always do the first night in hotels. And then we got up the next day. And what did we do the next morning?
We went to the meet and greet at Portillo's.
That's right. Great meet and greet. Finally met
Nick
the real
Scarpino.
Nick Scarpino.
At Nick Scarpino, not
At
at
Nick
Nick _Scarpino.
It's underscore guy.
The real Nick Scarpino who works
Doesn't know
marketing
what
at
he's doing,
Portillo's.
yeah.
Gave us all sorts of stuff. We
Really
got
nice
frisbees
guy.
and new bowls for Portillo.
But
Great
most
glasses.
importantly,
Most importantly,
your
I got
picture.
the highest honor anyone. Really, Kevin? Like, you're going to hang on Tim that long while I speak? This is why you couldn't get pizza. This is why you couldn't get pizza. You can't follow instructions. You've scared off Colin. I hope you're happy.
The monitor being there might need to go. It's too much fun.
We just make each other laugh
Skycam.
looking at it. If you're listening to the MP3, we're looking at the Skycam. No, don't go in my water.
I'm not. I didn't touch it.
I got the highest honor anyone from Chicago can
the
get.
Academy Awards of the restaurant industry.
And got to sign my own headshot and put it up at Portillo's.
It's great.
So now I'm on the wall with such stars as Jim Belushi,
Dom DeLuise,
Bob Surratt.
Tina Turner.
You're making up people. These aren't these are not people who are on the Portillo's wall. You're offending me and everyone who should.
You don't think Dom DeLuise is at a Portillo's wall somewhere?
No, I do
Dom
not
DeLuise,
think
I guarantee, is on
he
a
is
Portillo's wall.
not on a Portillo's wall.
If
anyway.
John Belushi's on the wall,
Jim Belushi.
If Jim Belushi's on the wall,
Yeah.
then Dom DeLuise has to be. On
I
the
don't
wall.
think he has a Chicago
and Burt
connection. I think
Reynolds.
that might be one of the problems.
Burt Reynolds.
That's what he used to do.
It was a great meet and greet at
Yeah,
Portillo's.
shout out to Kaylee and Zyger for helping put that thing together.
Yeah.
It went off really well, and it was fun. Meet and greets, they're always fun, but some are more fun than others, just in terms of like the space and how it's set up. And I think that one was really conducive to good conversations with people.
Well,
And
Portillo's
kind
was nice enough to give us the meeting room upstairs or whatever,
Yeah.
so we could just chill out and do it.
You
and
mean
it was
the entire
cool because
upper
there was
level of the
a
restaurant?
Yes.
lot of people there, but it felt manageable. And I think because we had so much space and it was closed off to us, that
Yeah.
we got to talk to everybody, take pictures with everyone,
Yeah.
and like have in-depth conversations with people that wanted them. So it was fun.
And then we
I liked
went and
it a
did
lot.
Let's Play Live at the
We
Chicago
did.
Theater.
And Let's Play Live was awesome, man.
That was a
Let's Play
great one.
Live. I mean, it was the second one we've done. We did one in LA at the Dolby Theater out in LA, and then this one now at the Chicago Theater. Very similar shows, but I feel like this one was a bit tighter. Everybody that was there seems to have the same feedback.
Fewer groups too. That's one of the things, right? Like we're not doing the New York Let's Play Live, but everyone was at LA Let's Play Live, so there's fewer slots, more things happening.
Yeah, so Screw Attack and
Couch Hop
weren't at this one, so it gave us all a bit more time to be featured and kind of. It was a bit more intimate, and it was a lot more fun too because I feel like all the groups learned from the first one.
Yeah.
And in terms of like what works and what doesn't work for the interstitials
Sure.
or for the actual games we play. And I thought it was the energy was really good. We got to do a lot of cool things. The Nintendo World Championship happened,
Which I won again.
He did.
I
win
retained.
again. But,
Fair and square. Fair and
retained
square.
it.
Oh, fair. Yeah, very fair and
Fair
square.
and square.
The story out of that in terms
Yeah.
of our professional wrestling thing, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because we're having fun up there, we're yucking it up. I win, of course. But when it got too real was at the end. When I shoved an extra hot pepper in your mouth, won the competition. Then while I was celebrating, you shoved 2 more in my mouth.
Yeah.
At which point I spit them out onto Kevin. When I'm doing this in a professional wrestling way of I don't want to actually hurt him. I'm not trying to. I tried to go over him a little bit and just got him all over the neck. So it
Yeah.
was like one of those dinosaurs that got Newman in Jurassic Park. Going, and just spitting fire all over Kevin's neck.
Well,
And it
so
could have
it's-
gone, and it burned. He burned.
Oh, he burned for a
And
long time.
it literally, if I would have gone 3 inches the other way, I blind Kevin. I
Yeah.
blind Kevin for a good
Forever.
45
That would
minutes.
have been
So you see,
horrifying.
You see,
probably
So
horrifying.
what you're saying is you would have taken what is arguably the most nimble of creatures on this planet and turned him into a person who just ping pongs off of things. That's what
on
you're
a
saying.
stage.
Nothing would have.
we would have
Nothing would have
little
changed.
stick, the little
They were,
walking
they were
stick.
Nothing would have
habaneros?
changed, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you would have been fucking dead.
Well, so that was
If that went in your eye.
peeling, back the curtain a little bit here. So we decided, like, right before we went on, we were like, all right, we're doing a Grand Prix. Let's do it so that whoever's winning at the end of the third round or whatever, the loser is going to take an extra habanero and shove it in the other guy's mouth
Right.
to kind of
Didn't-
like make it more entertaining or
Right.
whatever.
I didn't know this was happening, by the way.
However,
We like to work out our bits. And keep
No,
you
I'm
on
glad
your
because
toes.
I was an fair and impartial ref. That's how we know that Greg fair and square won the competition.
hate
Do your
so
job. Raise
so we
no.
decided to do this. I'm using the gamepad. He's using a Pro controller.
Stop molesting me.
And while
Smooth
while
skin.
we were up there,
moisturize.
our thing took a little bit longer than our segment was
Yeah.
supposed to be. So Jack tells Nick to just cut it after the third.
Yeah,
round.
best of three. We went from Grand Prix to best of three.
So instead, Greg's like, all right, you tell Greg to we're just gonna do that, whatever. Greg won the first round. I won the second,
second
round,
round.
which left us tied in terms of
Perfect.
points, exactly tied. So
Cinderella
Greg took the liberty to just grab the peppers and run over and get me. I didn't realize it was happening at that time, but I fucking ran with it. But then, as I'm on the floor rolling around, my gamepad just dies.
Literally does.
Wii U.
So not only do I have 2 habanero peppers now in me, which was fucking horrifying, by the way. I don't know why we keep doing this. But then my gamepad dies, and I'm like, great. And Kevin's over here running around he was the milk boy.
Yeah.
Just with his fucking cartons of milk. And I'm like, oh,
He's got them
man.
jugs.
Kevin's got big jugs.
Kevin got them
Big
jugs.
milk jugs Kevin's got.
I'll say this. I'm very proud of us for that. We I think aside we joke about how much this is a garbage truck on fire because 9% of the time it's 100% true, but occasionally we'll pull it together and actually put a little entertainment or a little entertaining segment together for the audience.
We'll
out there.
entertain you once in a while.
Every once in a while, maybe one out of 100. This was really fun though. I didn't know what we were doing going into this.
You rarely do.
Well, I knew we were doing Mario Kart, but I didn't know the full extent of the shtick. I didn't realize you were bringing the ref outfit. I didn't know I had to go up on stage and introduce everyone. I was a little nervous ahead of time. I don't know if you saw me pacing back and forth, because it's one thing to talk to people that come to a panel or best friends that come to a panel because I feel like I know these guys. It's a different thing to go out in front of an audience of 3,000 people who may or may not know who you are and try to make them like you. And so I think, to our credit, we were able to do that, and I'm extraordinarily proud of all of us, including Big Kev Dog out there.
Big Kev Dog.
Who came out and played the towel / milk boy / fluffer. Was he a fluffer? No, hot pepper guy.
Yeah.
Brought out the hot peppers.
No, it was an
fun.
amazing crowd. I got they were super behind us. That was the thing. For the LA one, they were a funhouse audience, and I'm not even including Achievement Hunter and / Rooster Teeth people. They're behind them, obviously.
Yeah.
But they were a funhouse pro, and so we got to play the heels there, whereas we were faces here. Like people loved us here. And when I got to come out and give the speech, and that place went crazy, and then we went into the Pokemon, sing along or whatever. They were awesome. So thank
Yeah.
you, Chicago, for taking care of us.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. I wish we could be doing the New York one, but I'm sure we'll be back in a different place.
Sure.
Sometime in 2017. So
then we finished that, and then we went to do the meet and greet, the VIP thing. That went until like 12:30
So
in the morning.
it took a while.
Yeah.
Which is good. I'm glad I'm glad we stayed. At a certain point, I was like, I'm so tired right now, and I've worked so hard over the last 4 weeks. Greg, I think I'm just gonna go. And I saw in your eyes, you're like, if he says it one more fucking time, I'm gonna throw.
I
him
told
his
you.
dog at
I
it.
told you to your face. The
That's
next
true.
day, I was like, if you
You're
would
like,
have said
Nick,
it one more time, I would have
just
like, get the
don't even
fuck out
worry
of here,
about
leave.
But
Then the moron twins try to get food again. How'd
Nick,
that go?
what fine establishment do we go get food at?
the same that
12:30
I
in the
got
morning.
food at the night before when I was hungry again. It's a fine. I think the French call it 7-Eleven.
Meanwhile,
think it's the
when
term
Tim and
for
I
it.
broke away from the moron twins, we ran into. You ran into. I went to bed right away. Who'd you run into?
Jeremy.
And
Jeremy from
Jeremy's like,
Achievement
"Oh, my
Hunter.
wife's bringing all this pizza."
My wife's bringing pizza to the lobby if you want some. And like, I was so tired. I just want to go to sleep. But Gio has been drinking classic Gio. She's like, I'm so hungry right now. I need food. I'm like, all right, I'm going to get you food. And then we're walking out and I knew we were going to end up somewhere bullshit. And this guy just comes with pizza. And I'm like, yeah. So
It
we
just-
go and all of us just hang out and have a great old time in the lobby
Worked
eating
out
pizza.
for you on that one.
Meanwhile-
Thanks again for the tech. I don't know if maybe your phone's not working, You're not sending us these
You guys,
text messages.
you guys had already walked back with your multiple bags of 7-Eleven.
I had, and by the way, there was 2 7-Elevens within a block away from each other. Kevin's like, should we just go to this one? I was like, yeah, I guess so. How bad could it be? It was by far the more inferior of the 7-Elevens. All that I could find to eat that looked anywhere close to fresh was 1 packet of beef jerky and some pork rinds. That was pretty much it. And I got halfway through the bag of pork rinds. I was like, I don't like pork rinds that much. These are disgusting, and they're upsetting my stomach.
They're not good
So
at
we got
all.
no sleep, woke up and went to Denver.
Yeah.
For PlayStation
I
Road to
watched
Greatness.
Pretty Woman on TV.
You were
was
so
fun.
tired you watched Pretty Woman.
The night before.
Okay.
But I wanted to give a shout out. And make
Oh,
sure
if we're giving
people
shout
know.
outs to stuff we didn't talk about, we got fucking wasted with Gia and her friend in Austin that final night.
Oh, yeah, that was
and it
fun.
snuck up on us to where
Yeah.
we kept
All
going.
right, we
bar to
can't
bar.
go back 2 cities now. Let's keep
Nick
the
jumped
story
ahead to
moving
the
forward.
very end.
I thought we wanted to tell the story in excruciating detail. I'm sorry. Were we not doing that? Were we not doing that? I'll shut up.
PlayStation Road to Greatness in Denver then.
Fun. Am I
Yeah, it
allowed
was
to say
great.
that
That was
what I
great
played there?
Yeah, of course.
The Batman VR game?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, did you
That
enjoy
was
it?
super fun. I did. I enjoyed the shit out of that. That was fun.
I enjoyed watching you play it.
Yeah, you guys made fun of me. You're like, he can't hear us. Look at how dumb he looks. He can't hear us.
It wasn't so
Hey,
much-
Nick, can you hear us? I'm like, I hear every fucking word
No,
you're saying.
It wasn't
You're
that.
assholes.
It was Nick. It was Nick.
No,
Give me
Kevin's
a
like,
cup.
he's
Give me
so
a cup.
stupid. Look how stupid he looks.
Give me it. There's a part where there's a piano and you're supposed to hit the keys and there's a phone. But watching Nick, and again, I'm not even making fun of you as much as it's making fun of anyone playing VR and doing this stuff.
You look like an
but
idiot.
watching him in real life, it's like this is playing piano, trying to figure it out,
Constantly picking up the phone.
and then there was a phone. It
was
and he
awesome.
just goes. It was just like so
Like 7 times. It was great.
you can put it down.
Because whatever event that was supposed to trigger when I got to the
Yeah.
piano, I'm like, oh, a grand piano. Clearly, I'm here. I'm supposed to look at it and explore it. I assumed that when I opened up the key cover or whatever it is to the piano, that it would trigger the event. Nothing happened. So I was like, okay, clearly I have to do something else. Like I thought I was going to turn the key and the whole thing was going to go down. Right? Nothing happens. Like maybe I have to pick up the phone. Maybe that's what I was looking for. The head.
Yeah.
That you could tilt back and I hit the button and it would go. Nothing. And then, but also you have to realize that when you're in it, the hands are like here.
Yeah.
So when you're doing stuff, you have to exaggerate the moves a little bit so you can actually see where your
Yeah.
hands are in your peripherals. Because from marching band, I developed that amazing peripheral vision.
Oh, yeah.
10 years marching band, JW, John W. North High, Blue Star Regiment, what up? That I'm like, okay, I see everything, but I got to make sure I can see my hands. In the back of my mind, I'm also hearing this. Look, he's so stupid. Look how stupid he is. Hey, you guys want to get some pizza? You guys get pizza later? Lou Magajanos?
Oh, that's not even the same city. So we did that. Had a great PS I Love
It
You
was good.
XOXO. Had a
was
great
fun.
meet and greet. You all were fantastic in Denver. Thank you for that. Then we tried to go watch the UFC fight, and Buffalo Wild Wings would
work.
not have us.
Nope. Unfortunately, no slight against Buffalo Wild Wings. They were just packed, and people were camping out at their tables, as you do when you're getting ready for a 3-hour, 2.5-hour long fight. Came back to we had our mind set on wings, by the way. Which
Yeah, that was the worst
That
part.
was a hard
Then we
job.
went to the Yard House. We're like, well, we'll settle and get some wings
Get some
here.
House wings, and the first thing she says was, "We're out of wings."
And I said, this night sucks because we
almost
almost
cried.
got killed by an Uber
Yeah, some
driver
guy
on the way
decided to
back.
drive us right down the train tracks toward
Yeah.
our death, and we were like, "Yo, just because you hate your life doesn't mean we have to hate ours." So that was horrible. And then we came home.
Yep.
And the
we
great-
worked real hard, and then
the
we
did a
whole
great
bunch
thing
of crap.
is we were like we had all weekend to just relax and do nothing before a nice casual Monday where we didn't have anything to do. No, we worked till fucking 1:00 in the morning Sunday, and then did a 12-hour live stream on Monday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now here we are right now.
Yep.
Here we are
and
right now.
out there.